AI has come to revolutionize the way that we live. And I don't think this is something that's not understood at this point. We've seen it before in the course of history with the web.com bubble in the 1990s. And then whenever marketing went primarily from print and billboards and newspapers to primarily digital. This is just another evolution on that journey in the forward. But what we have seen in the past is incumbents that fail to adopt the future state. And what ends up happening is they get left behind. And we don't want that for you. So today we're going to cover some use case examples of what companies are doing here and now. We're going to talk about what they're using, what tools they're using in those examples that you could use today. And then we're going to cover some of my opinions on it and also some creators in the space that are doing some pretty cool and innovative things. Let's get to all that and more. But first, we're going to talk again, use cases. What are companies doing present state today? So the first company we're going to be talking about is Nutella. And the project we're talking about is Project Nutella Unica. So Nutella went ahead and actually hired a branding company called Ogilvy Italia. I hope I'm saying that right. And so what they did was they took an algorithm and they pulled from a database of dozens of patterns and color to create 7 million different versions of Nutella's graphic identity. And they just put them all on the jar. So if I have a Nutella jar, this jar I have is completely unique to me. Nobody else has it, which is pretty cool. It kind of drives that exclusivity to it. So the result of this project was when they released, they sold out immediately. The 7 million jars were sold through Italian supermarkets and they sold out in 1 month, which is pretty significant. 1 month to sell out of 7 million jars of Nutella. Pretty crazy, pretty lucrative. Why do I think that they sold out? Well, firstly, it's unique. Like I said, it's my jar of Nutella. Nobody else has it like me. So there's also a layer of exclusivity to it. Another piece was they popped. I mean, look at the colors in these things. Colorful, the design patterns are right. I mean, everything about these patterns are just amazing. So why did it have to be AI? Why couldn't it have been a human? Well, the thing is it could have been a human, but AI just did it remarkably faster. So what are some tools that are like that? Well, we have Midjourney. Midjourney is a great AI tool. I think this tool does really good text to image. It does a really good job in terms of realism. It makes some really real looking photographs. It looks exactly like it would be if you went out there with a nice camera and took some pictures. And so for mass content, if you're missing a piece, if you go out on a photo shoot or a video shoot, or you're filming a video like this and you have a missing component, just use Midjourney to get some content, some graphics, and you can really utilize Midjourney in a really cool way. And so here's actually a clip of someone, I think his name's Chris McKay from Twitter, utilizing Midjourney to create a Delta Airlines ad. So pretty cool there. You also have things like DALL-E, which comes with ChatGPT Premium if you have it, and then also Alpaca and Dream Studio, other two that are pretty good in terms of creative and content to give you some ideas on design and film and all of that, which actually we'll talk about in a second. Film and content creation for AI we'll get to a little bit later. So the next company we're going to talk about is Volkswagen and how Volkswagen used AI for predictive analytics. And so this is pretty cool. So their previous state was they were using a German media agency that was giving just personal recommendations on where they should put their ad spend. However, somebody at Volkswagen realized we actually need to be leveraging our money better. What better way to leverage your money better? By using actionable data on where you should be putting your money. So enter in Blackwood 7, a Danish agency, to help them with this. So Blackwood 7 basically uses AI and predictive analytics to forecast ad spend decisions. Therefore, it'll sell more cars than it would have if it gone through with personal recommendations. Again, leveraging that dollar better. The forecast on where to put your money came from data, such as transactional data, incoming orders, as well as market data, such as fuel price, competitor prices, and overall car registrations. And here's the deal. The more data that goes in, the better the model gets. So just give it some time and the model will continue to be better. The result of that, Volkswagen sold 20% more cars than it would have if it went with personal recommendations, which is fantastic. So what are some tools that you can be utilizing to leverage data analytics? So firstly is Tableau. Tableau is pretty well known already. A lot of companies are already using it. Two others that might be lesser known is RapidMiner and Data Robot. Again, good tools to use for data analytics to actually take that data and create actionable steps on that data to have better leverage in your ad spend money if you're a marketing professional. The third company we're talking about is Tomorrow Sleep and how they used AI to drive more organic traffic to their sites. Think about the sleep industry for a second. There is a lot of competition. It's what's known as a red ocean. Think about all the sleep companies that you know. Maybe Tomorrow Sleep's one of them, maybe they're not. But their goal is to make sure that everybody, including you, knows about them. So how are they going to leverage AI to do this? Well, they used market news. So essentially, the team used MarketMuse's research application to understand which topics to target. And then they started with the topics that they already knew were important to address, but MarketMuse filled in the blanks, highlighting other high-value topics the company needed to be talking about. Then the company also used MarketMuse's Compete application to see which companies ranked in the top 20 results for each of those topics. What Tomorrow Sleep was then able to do is use the topics that were discussed in MarketMuse's application and research and create content specific to those topics so that they could be another voice in the space. And again, over time, continuing to use that data, continuing to talk about those topics, what might that do for a company? Well, let me tell you, they went from 4,000 unique monthly visitors to over 400,000 unique monthly visitors. This is crazy. Everybody wants to do this. How can you do it? Well, MarketMuse is one of those applications. But another one, phrase.io. Again, these are more for SEO, search engine optimization, finding organic traffic, a couple others, Writesonic, Narrato, and Surfer SEO. All of these, by the way, links to all of these applications will be linked in the description below. All right, the last company we're talking about is one that all of you are probably familiar with. That is Netflix and their use of AI in personalization. So, you get a Netflix account, you log in for the first time, you pick some shows and movies that you like and are interesting to you, and then it recommends it to you based on what you've picked. How does this work? Well, it takes a look at data from other people that watch Netflix and it says, hey, they watched show 1 and show 2, and afterwards they ended up watching show A and show B. Therefore, if you like show 1 and show 2, it's likely that you also like show A and show B because other people have done it. Again, the longer time Netflix has, the better recommendations it can make to you. So this works in two ways, both you giving Netflix more data by watching specific shows and clicking on specific different types of creative. I bet you didn't know this, but in their personalization, it even goes down to the pictures that they use for the shows and movies they recommend to you, which is crazy. And we can see that here in their personalizations policy. So what is the result of this for Netflix? Well, it keeps us coming back, does it not? It answers that age-old question, what am I watching tonight? Whenever you have friends over, maybe a significant other, what are we watching tonight? I don't know, just log into Netflix and there should be some suggested content. And it's likely that the suggested content that we'll find in Netflix will actually want to watch. And so we like it. We go to there and it answers the question for us. It tells us what we want and it's probably likely that we're going to like that stuff. So how can you do this if you have a company or you work for a company and they want help with some personalization? AI makes personalization way easier now. We've got some tools for you. Chameleon, Optimizely, and Dynamic Yield. All of these taking your customer data to make sure that there's that personalized approach to your marketing. Actually, there's a really good article out there right now on Mail Moto. It talks about personalization in websites and why it's important. It goes over personalization versus customization, why it's important, why you should be doing it, who you should be doing it for, all of that covered. The article will be linked in the description. It will be the first link in the description. It's a really great article talking about personalizing your websites for a better customer experience. You definitely need to check it out. All right, so this last piece I'm going to talk about is a channel. It's called Curious Refuge, and they do a really good job of talking about AI in filmmaking. Now, what are the potential uses of AI in filmmaking for marketing? Well, we can create video advertisements. Yes, we've seen this with the Delta advertisements. That was mid-journey, so just photos, but we could also do this to create video. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping to do this in the future. There's going to be a couple of videos you got to stay tuned for. I'm going to basically recreate some ad campaigns using AI video. But Curious Refuge is a really good voice in this space. They've done a lot of work in the AI and filmmaking space. They look at the tools and they give you tutorials. They even have a course for you to learn. If you're a marketing professional that wants to learn more about AI and its use in ad creation and video ad creation, head over to Curious Refuge, check out their stuff, look at their tutorials. They talk about tons of tools that are available to you today to go ahead and get started. And so play around with it, tweak it for marketing, and I think you'll see some value. All right, so what is the future of AI in marketing? Well, I think we know that it's not going to be you get to work 3 hours a week and kick your feet back up and have a pina colada somewhere on the beach. It's just going to help you do your job better and faster. I think the result of it is going to be there's going to be tons more volume of content out there in the space, and it's going to be really difficult to compete with other people, especially if you're not adopting some of these new tools and techniques, because they're just going to beat you in terms of volume. They're going to create really, really good advertisements that are personalized and customized to their target customers. They're also going to go ahead and just produce a lot of volume, and so be careful that you don't fall behind and get stuck in that trap of not adopting the new technologies. Now, with all this volume, I think that the future will be people are going to be getting fatigued. And maybe you're already there today, but I think it only gets worse from here. And so if you think that you're just going to go ahead and go out and make all this content and produce a bunch of volume, you actually might be able to get a lot of customers up front, but keeping the customers is what matters most. And keeping the customers is by using age-old practices that don't change with time, like having a solid brand, creating brand consistency, brand strategy, making your company feel like they stand for something and stand against something, and that they are there for their customers. This personalization is cool, it's awesome, but we all know when we get an email that says, hey, and it's our name, like, hey, Tyler, we know it's just a robot doing it. And so companies that are really connecting with their customers on a human level and focusing on that brand aspect are going to be the ones that are going to sustain over time. So it's not just good enough to be adopting these new technologies and moving into the future. You're also going to have to continue doing what has worked, those age-old practices, brand strategy, brand consistency, brand story, standing for something. It's going to be a must if you want to sustain in the future of AI and marketing. That is it for today. Please share this content with somebody that you think will find this valuable. It's a free way to support me and also provide value to your friends, so it is truly a win-win. We're going to keep making videos like this again. I'm going to be recreating some of those advertisements of those companies using AI. Really excited to see what that might look like. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. We'll talk soon. We'll see you.